What's up, beautiful people? So today we're talking about how to clean up a background. So today's tutorial, we're talking about how to go from this to this. Now, when taking portraits, whether in studio or on location, typically we run across unwanted distractions or objects within our background. In particular, sometimes specifically in a studio setting where you have artificial lighting, your traditional paper backdrop or cloth backdrop, there are instances where you are shooting wide to capture your whole subject, and then sometimes the background where you see stands, lights, V-flats, cores, tape all over the ground, and it's very distracting. And sometimes either we don't know how to remove those objects, or two, we just have trouble actually clearing it from our background. So today we're going to jump into Photoshop, and I'm going to show you all my technique of how I remove objects, but then also to match the background equally, fluidly, smoothly, I don't know. But yeah, so today we're going to talk about how to clean up a background. So let's go ahead and jump into Photoshop. All right, so here in this first image we have a client, one of my client shoots, and here we have Christian, our male model. But here on this photo in particular, what we're looking to change or take out are these three aspects of the photo. One, this major lack of the backdrop being fully extended here on the right. But then also we have this gaff tape, which was his marker where I told him to make sure he stood. Then we also have a part where the backdrop is actually torn, so this part here. And then of course we have a few little smudge or footprints on the backdrop as well. Just something that we want to clean up and make sure the backdrop looks as clean and neat as possible. So there's multiple ways to do this. I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can do it, but then me in particular, I kind of use all 3 of these techniques in conjunction, just depending on one, how difficult the object is to remove, or and then I just kind of combine them. So first, we're just gonna duplicate the layer to just kind of show you all of before and after. But first, here on this second copy layer, probably the most easiest way to actually remove something is probably with the spot healing brush. As you can see here, kind of gives you an example of what the tool actually does. So if you just come here, select the tool, make sure that your brush or your circle is big enough to cover the object that you're trying to remove. And quick shortcut on your keyboard is using the brackets. Open bracket is to close bracket is to increase the circle size. So just get the proper circle size, select the object, and boom, it's gone. Simple as that, like less than 5 seconds to actually do. So that's one way, that's using the spot healing brush. Second way to actually remove an object, we're going to remove the gaff tape here. And the way that I like to do, or probably the easiest, is actually using the clone stamp. So the clone stamp will legit let you clone any aspect of your photo to a select point. So if we select the clone stamp, again, we're going to increase our brush size, and then we're going to select a circle or a position on the background that we want to mimic or to replace with the gaff tape. So for me, I like to just select a spot close in proximity to the spot that we're trying to remove or cover up. So anywhere here on this lower half of the backdrop, because one is going to have this similar lighting and then also similar color and texture as well. So on your keyboard, you can just hold down Alt and then this little pointer or target icon. We're just gonna, it's gonna pop up and we're just gonna select where we want to choose from, and then you can just clone and paint away the marker. So as you can see with this technique, it took a few times to actually get the to remove the mark. However, that's for a few different reasons. So if you look here above, so for my brush that I have selected is just your regular soft brush. However, the thing that made it take so long for us to actually remove the gaff tape was because for opacity, I have mine selected to 40%. So if we come back all the way, let's see, close down. We come all the way back, we see we just click once. The 40% really didn't do anything. So that's kind of why it took so long. But if I increase it to 100% and go over, it kind of gets it done a lot faster. However, you know, it's kind of up to you how fast you like to move when you're actually editing. Using 100% opacity, there's nothing wrong with that. Using 40%, it's nothing wrong with that. It's all about your control, what you're comfortable with actually using. I typically just leave it at default at 40, just because when I am clone stamping, I use it for a lot of other reasons rather than just cleaning up the background. Like I use it when I'm actually doing retouching of the skin. So it's just default on my computer to 40%, but feel free to use 100, 80, 70, whatever you're comfortable with to get the object removed. So that's kind of that. And then flow is kind of like the intensity of the actual stamp. So if you would imagine, like, if you're pressing down actually with the paintbrush, it's kind of how hard you're pressing down. That's kind of what flow is. And then opacity is kind of how much paint you actually have on the brush. So that's kind of how I keep track of that. So those that's the second way to do it, using the clone stamp. So now to this big obstruction here. So here, let's just go ahead and select it. You can see within the walking ants that the backdrop doesn't extend fully to the edge of the frame or the photo. So to remove it here, it's very simple. One, you could do what we just did using the healing brush or the clone stamp, but it will take you quite a long time to do it. So another quick and easy way to do it is to come here to the rectangle marquee tool, and what we're going to do is just select the entire area that we're going to be working in. So we selected the area. Definitely want to make sure we're actually having the whole frame that's unselected or uncovered to be fully selected. And then what we're going to do is take your mouse, right click, and then come down to content aware fill. So what content aware fill is going to do is work its magic within the Adobe software. Then right here on the preview, we can see that it has now filled in the area which we're trying to fix or correct with samples from everything that's in green here. So the Adobe software, using, I don't know, some AI, is able to take the pixels and color and all the information that is within this green highlighted area and then fill it or replace the area that we selected to pre-fill it for us. So if everything looks good on this side here for your preview, Then we just go ahead and hit OK, and boom, it's done. You want to clear out the rectangle or your marquee tool, and then it's kind of there for you. So it kind of makes a whole new layer for you, so you can actually see what was changed or whatever. But I just like to go ahead and select and edit or merge it into the layer that we were already working on. So if we just go ahead and unselect the layer that we made our corrections on, we can kind of see how we were able to easily clean up a backdrop. So that'll do it for me today. Those are 3 techniques that I use to be able to clean up backdrops when shooting portraits. If you did find this video useful, make sure to hit that like button, and if you aren't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when I do post additional tutorials, vlogs, journals, or whatever. But yeah, that'll do it, and I see you all in the next one. Peace.